Hey CPC community, Pastor Kyle here. I want to give you an update on what we announced at our Advent and Appetizers event. I know a lot of you were not able to come and you've been asking me, is there any way I can get a summary or something of what happened? Well, here it is. At the event, we announced two new initiatives that flow out of the work that God has been doing in our leadership over the last couple of years. Through lots of prayer and discernment, we have engaged God and been asking the question, God, what would you have us learn out of the great work we saw you do in our next chapter, during our next chapter campaign a few years ago, where we were raising money to expand into the next building? Two things came out of that. One, we decided that it would be very helpful and important for us to have an annual focus. So each year, the leadership is going to be asking God, where would you have us focus our attention as a congregation over the next year? Our collective energies, where would you have them spent? And this year, God led us to Ephesians 4 and that phrase about the body building itself up in love. And so over the next year, our annual focus is each and every person called, gifted, involved. So our focus is going to be on the responsibility and importance of every member contributing to the growth and health of the church in loving relationship with their brothers and sisters. And so we hope that by the end of this year, you will have the sense that my brothers and sisters need me and God has called me into this body because I am vital to their flourishing in Christ. And we want every person to know that and sense that. So that's our annual focus. The second thing that came out of our seeking God and discerning, God, what would you have us learn out of your work during the next chapter campaign, is we saw an incredible amount of buy-in and sense of collective participation in the mission of the church as people engaged in teams together, committed to teams together, and also were discerning collectively how God might have them participate in the future mission and ministries of the church. And so what this has led to is really a new way of structuring how we're going to do volunteers. From now on, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making volunteer commitments to join teams for the next year. And we're going to be using the season of Advent and really the month of December as a time when we can discern before God, what's the next year, as far as I can tell, going to look like? And where would you have me, given my gifts, my calling, my history, my capacities, and the needs of the church, where would you have me serve? What team would you have me serve on? And so what we're really hoping comes out of this is that people engage God. And they don't just sign up for something because they always have. They don't just sign up for something because someone asked them to. But they really engage God and ask the question, God, what's the next year look like? And what do you want it to look like for me? For some of you, that will mean stepping back. I realize that. For some of you, it will mean engaging further, signing up for more teams. I realize that. For others of you, you might be serving in one area your whole life just because someone asked you to or there was a need, but that's not really the place where God would have you serve in the future. And so you may need to make a switch. But for all of us, we want to engage God and ask, God, what role would you have me play in the mission and ministries of this church? You can see that there are a variety of teams in the link document, and through those in that document, there's a description of the roles that you can play on those teams, what might be required, and there's also a team leader in contact who you can contact to find out more information. I look forward to seeing what God does through this initiative.